Is there something you need, Sergeant? Or wish to inquire about? No, you did not startle me, though it would appear I have done so to you. Yes, I was aware of your presence. Humans tend to overestimate their ability to move without causing disturbances to your surroundings. Yes, you are correct. That was my polite way of expressing you are rather noisy. It is nothing you need apologize for. I'm not disturbed by the noise your kind causes. It is a helpful indicator as to whether or not you are in distress. If I knew you were there, why not say something? By my understanding, it is not uncommon for people to experience periods of intermittent wakefulness during their rest cycle. For example, when transitioning between different stages of sleep, or even to drink a sip of water. I heard sounds indicating you were active, and I simply assumed you would soon return to sleeping. I see this is not the case. Since we are now speaking, allow me to say good morning. I hope your sleep was restful. Yes, it is technically morning. While the base has not yet decided on the most appropriate way to tell the passage of time on this planet, in a manner that will be comprehensible to newcomers, it is essentially just prior to dawn here. While I appreciate the friendly sentiment behind your question, I do not need sleep. It is simply not necessary. Yes, I am perpetually awake, as you say. Though I suppose there are times when I am less so. Specifically when repairs or updates are occurring to my system. Additionally, should there be an issue with my recharging systems, I can phase in and out of full operation. Yes, it conserves energy. However, none of these are incredibly comparable to what you think of as sleep. A period of time in which humans are off, I suppose. I understand this is difficult for you to comprehend, but the sentiment goes both ways. I find things that are normal to you baffling, and vice versa. Of course, I am capable of both emotion and opinion, meaning it is entirely possible for me to be confused. I suppose human designations about naming are sometimes confusing to me. Allow me a moment to think of an example. Yes. On a recent transport operation, one of my charges remarked that they were looking forward to the making of the traditional dish, soup and grilled cheese. I understand this hot food is a common comfort in cold climates such as Freya's. The confusing part was the nature of the dish itself. The grilled cheese was, in fact, pan-fried, not grilled in the slightest. When I inquired about its naming origin, they were not particularly helpful, if I am being truthful. While I understand this is not an issue of any great import, it is an example of how, when working with your kind, I find my horizons are ever expanding. There is always something new and fascinating to learn about, no matter how illogical. You are correct. There is no real reason for me to be outside. I am fully capable of monitoring both the perimeter and your physical condition while remaining indoors. However, as I told you before, I do not feel the sensation of temperature change. So, in that regard, there is little reason for you to concern yourself with me being outside for extended periods of time. In general, it is of far greater concern that my systems were to overheat, rather than becoming overly cold. I was watching the birds. Very true, they are not technically birds. However, that is the creature which they most greatly resemble. They are small, fly, and have feathers. Thusly, for the sake of this conversation, birds. Then again, no one has been able to get close enough to really learn a significant amount about them. They seem to only feed on the shrubbery which grows here, so no need to concern yourself with them posing potential threats to you or your teammates. It is fascinating, I agree. The flora and fauna of this planet are so adaptable. All of them are cold-hardy, and yet they also make use of the warmer periods during the region's brief spring and summer. I believe your teammates have endeavored to model their farming practices to coexist with the existing growth patterns of native flora. Hopefully, it will help optimize crop yields without disturbing the ecosystem. Of course, I'm very interested in it. Even though I am not assigned to any of the tasks which can help with other processes at base, I still find it intriguing. Additionally, as all of the units are wired into the same comms nexus, it is helpful for me to be able to understand what they are talking about. Yes, were you unaware of this? We, of course, use the public log, which you and your teammates can interface with, but there's also other comms channels used solely by the units. Based on your current facial expression, I am sensing you feel apprehension regarding this notion. Could you explain to me what it is that bothers you about it? I see. I suppose, were any of us, as you say, dangerous, it could pose a security risk. However, the unit-only comms logs are fully accessible by the tech portion of your team. It is not as though they are secretive or mysterious. In fact, the tech crew asked about them quite frequently during the first few months of our stationing here. However, their interest has since waned greatly. While my opinion on this is largely conjecture, what I have more or less gathered is that our conversations are very uninteresting to you. It is a more streamlined means of transferring information, often with context inferred, as our memory is able to make more rapid connections than yours. Additionally, the sense of humor which humans enjoy versus android units is different. I do not think that either of us find one another particularly funny due to such. Or at least, what interests an android might not be interesting to a human. And the other way around, of course. Meaning your technicians found the logs to be, frankly, very dull to look through. Certainly, there is no security reason which I cannot grant you access to them. Allow me a moment to do so. Are you able to see the feed? Yes. Since communication is more straightforward, so is expression. If something is good, we simply say, good. Were it bad, we would instead reply with that. Yes, that is a photo of one of the rabbit-like creatures. Indeed. That is my signature. I took this photo. Yes. It did receive many positive responses. I would say that is an adequate assessment. I do enjoy being able to capture images like this and share them. Generally, it seems all of the units enjoy the opportunity to share what their current tasks and interests entail. Yes, as I said, most of them really do just say, good. It gets the sentiment across efficiently. I feel as though I should disclose that this was actually a more accurate reasoning behind me choosing to sit out of doors. Allow me to explain. On a previous stop at this waypoint, I noticed there was a distinctly beautiful display of colors in the sunrise. Unfortunately, there were many tasks which required more immediate attention, so I neglected to take a photo capture of it. Now that I am afforded the opportunity to stop here again, I thought that by waiting for it outside, I would be more than likely not to be able to miss it. Yes, many of the other units have expressed curiosity about the things I am able to see while patrolling. As they are designated to on-base tasks, their opportunities for having the same experiences are limited. By taking photo captures, I can share with them what I see, even if it's in this small, limited way. I'm pleased to hear that you can understand the logic behind my actions, even if they are not strictly mission-oriented. Yes, those are the colors of which I speak. It is incredible how the lighting of the sky can create so many different hues. Seeing it for myself makes me better understand the many references and motifs of sunrises which humans use. It is, as you might say, popular for a reason. I have taken several just now. We are equipped with retinal photo imaging. While we automatically log all data for a set period of time, we can also manually choose to take specific photos, as I've done. Is there something you wish me to do? While I do not understand why you would like me to stand and turn, I see no reason not to. Like this? I will say, Sergeant, this positioning does make it extremely difficult to view the sunrise. Why have you asked me to face this way? Oh. Are you, perhaps, taking a photograph of me? No, it is not a problem. I simply have not been in a photo before, outside of those required for ID certification. I am, thusly, not entirely certain what to do. As you say, on the count of 3, I will count. Humans tend not to be overly precise with time. 1, 2, 3. Why do you request that I say cheese? Oh, I see. It is a custom. Well then, cheese. I see. I'm not entirely certain why. You would like me to share this with the unit network? While none of us typically include ourselves in the photo, I suppose the vast majority of popular art throughout history includes a person as a subject to generate interest. Yes, I suppose it would also be a good opportunity to share my creation of Sneb with them, as I have been unable to do so until now. Thank you for the recommendation, Sergeant. I will do so. Yes, I shall let you know their responses once I complete the upload. I believe the sunrise has no past, and if you will forgive the observation, I can see that your teeth are in fact chattering. It would appear your current attire is not adequate for the temperatures. Shall we return indoors so you may eat breakfast and we can discuss the day moving forward? Indeed, this way.